Alright, you guys are going to have to be quiet because she's getting my voice telling them how to do this. If you have a question, though, raise your hand and I'll let you ask because somebody in another class might have the exact same question. Alright, so we have our papers. We are going to put our foldable on page 12. Make sure you're on page 12, first off. Then you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut along this bottom line. We're shaving off some of the unneeded and unwanted paper so that it actually fits on one page. But we want to leave the paper on the sides for tabs for gluing. Alright, so get that cut off of your big one. We're going to do it first. It doesn't matter what order your vocabulary terms are in here, only that they're all in here and that they make a little vocabulary book. Now we have an uneven number of terms and we're going to cut out 7 at a time to put on here. I cut out 5 originally and I ended up having to put some at the bottom, so we are going to cut down 7. So you are going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And at there you are going to cut over. All the way across. Alright, so put those off to the side and don't worry about them for a little bit. And then, ladies and gentlemen, look up here. We are going to cut. You notice you see this little dotted line? Well, you need to cut about 1/4 of an inch over to the left of the dotted line straight up because this is going to create your tab for gluing. Okay? So, I'll show you and then you can do it. So, go over about 1/4 of an inch. If it's a little more or a little less, it doesn't much matter. But in the end, you're going to have this area above the dotted line for a tab. And at that point, you can turn that tab over and make a crease. And this is going to be where your glue goes. And you dot, dot, not a lot because we don't want to waste glue and also because we want it to dry fast enough that we can close our notebook without the glue being all over the place. So then you get your glue and you put some dots on there. As soon as you open it up enough, the glue will come out. Again, it doesn't take a lot of glue. And then you just find a nice spot in the middle of the page where it all fits and does not hang out of your notebook. And you glue that tab down and leave it. Alright, then we need to get our terms. And we're going to put our terms over the top of our definitions. How do we do that? We make a little tab. Again, this is going to be for your glue. But before we put the glue on it and glue it down, you make your tab first, just like we did. Yes, Emilio?
Where do we cut it?
Like 1/4 of an inch over from the dotted line. To the left of the dotted line. To the left. Once you have this tab made, then you cut along the lines so that they will fold up. You don't cut all the way, you just cut to where your tab. So you cut to right here. Each one. You guys can do this. We're going to put vocabulary in here probably for every unit from here on out. If you look at the board, you notice that your first vocabulary quiz is Wednesday. If you make a 100 on that quiz, you will not have to take Friday's quiz. If you do not make 100, you get a second chance to try to make 100 on Friday. Alright, then you dot, dot, not a lot with your glue on your tab again. And very carefully you place it right on top of the other tab so that your words are lined up with the correct definitions. Mash it down and leave it and let it begin to dry. Alright, we're not finished with our words yet. We still have more. So we're going to keep adding to this book the exact same way. So you're going to cut this big tab off the bottom because we do not need that. You're going to cut the tab off the top because we do not need that. And then we have the same size piece of paper as before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So again, we go over to the left of the dotted line about 1/4 of an inch. And you cut up to make your tab. and you keep doing this until you're completely finished. Now your last one is only going to have 3. That's fine, it just goes on top the same as before. And when you are finished, you guys will have, instead of this down here, you will have them all together, and you will have a booklet of vocabulary terms and tabs that are connected. And you're going to have 7. I made it a little too small the first time, but 7 fits on one page. So, this is how you make your vocabulary foldable. Thank you.